Hey, how's it going? This is Trent Carter. I'm here in Hood River right now, and I've just had my first 2 days of pear winging, and I just want to give my experience of it as a beginner and learning it for the first time, as opposed to downwinding, its strengths and benefits. First of all, it's incredible. It's super. It makes the whole downwind process and learning how to ride swells, I think, 10 times easier. You're allowing yourself to ride a smaller board, a smaller foil than you usually would ride if you're learning how to downwind. It's basically accelerating your progression in the ability that you have to ride bumps, read swells, go back upwind, and just repeat the process without having to do a big shuttle buddy system, or if you're alone, you go upwind, downwind, stay in a certain zone where there's good bumps. So I was really, really impressed with that. I think it's early days, right? So, if we look back to like the first wing foiling wings that came out to where we are today, it's night and day. I mean, the ease of use we have now versus then is insane. I'm really hopeful that even between this first generation of pear wings and the second generation, there's going to be it's going to be a light year leap essentially in going forward. Just ease of use. I think packability. Yesterday I was at the hatch, and I think everyone has their own little way to do it, and I think there's just gonna be so much sorting out and so much progress is gonna be made, and even just little innovations with the lines, with the shape of the wings themselves, the packing mechanisms. Maybe someone's gonna come up with something that, I don't know, helps you pack it easier. Like it might be fold lines on the thing, so you grab only on the lines that are printed onto the canopy, and then you just fold it up there, and it's perfect every time, or mostly perfect. So I'm hopeful about it. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see where it goes. And I like just being up here in Hood River, you see all these people in the water just figuring it out. Like, it's blowing up here. Granted, the wind range is small on them. Like, you don't have the same range as a wing. You need to be pretty accurate at taking a look at the water, saying it's this windy, I'm going to bring this equipment, and that takes time to figure out. So it might not be best for like a beginner, but overall it's really, 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 really impressive. I think it's almost like an intersection point between wing foiling and downwind foiling, where wing foiling you are pretty much underpowered the whole time, or pear winging you're still sailing, right? You're not completely independent, but once you pack it away, you are independent. And at least in my eyes, at least now where the sport stands, I think it's going to be a great way to get more people into these open water situations and getting into the bump away from these really tightly populated spots and broadening their horizons. So overall, I'm hopeful, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited to get it in waves. I'm excited to do some big downwind runs with it where the wind isn't optimal, right? So you could go reach out a couple miles if the wind's slightly on shore, and then have a much better time than you would otherwise. And then once you're up and going, you're on a small board, you pack it away, you're good. I think my packing practice needs a lot of work, and unfolding practice. First day was great. Second day was pretty tough. I think I got lucky. The first day I was just accidentally doing tacks and jibes, and everything was working out. Second day I got humbled pretty hard. But overall, first impressions are it's fantastic. I can't wait to see where it goes. And I'd implore anyone that is a wing foiler, good foiler, give it a shot, try it out. Depending on where you are in the world, sometimes you're not going to have the biggest bumps, but if you could size your equipment appropriately, I think it'll open up a lot of things. In my mind, immediately what pops up is lakes. Like, wing foiling on a lake, it's fun. You can mow the lawn, right? You do tricks and freestyle, but I think more exciting would be going way out into the middle of a lake where maybe the bumps aren't the biggest, but you could pack up. If you're on a big foil, you could just go all the way downwind and then just rinse and repeat over and over again and really, really learn how to downwind and get that sense of freedom that it's hard to get if you're trying to learn how to subfoil or downwind foil on these lakes. So I'm excited, keen to see where it goes.